The grand lobby of the Regal Star Hotel gleamed with polished marble floors and golden chandeliers hanging above. Everyday guests from around the world walked through its revolving doors, their voices filled the air with many languages, yet most of the staff rarely understood more than English or French. Among the staff was Amara, a young black woman who worked as a maid. She was known for her quiet discipline and the way she carried herself with dignity. Even in her uniform, her days were long, starting before sunrise and ending after the last room had been cleaned, yet she never complained. She needed this job to support her younger brother. Back home one afternoon, while she was arranging flowers in the lobby, her small phone rang. She hesitated to answer in such a grand place, but the call was from her brother. She quickly placed the phone to her ear and spoke softly in Dutch. It was the language they had learned while living in Suriname, a former Dutch colony. Her brother asked about school fees, and she reassured him she would manage it. She hung up and returned to her duties, unaware of who had been listening. Seated in the corner of the lobby was a man of great presence, a tall millionaire named Victor. He was dressed in a tailored suit, his silver watch gleaming beneath the lights. He had come to the hotel to host a private business meeting with foreign investors, yet when he heard Amara speaking Dutch, he felt a sharp pull of curiosity. For years he had studied languages, and he rarely encountered someone who spoke Dutch so naturally. In such a place, Victor stood and walked toward her. Amara froze, thinking she had done something wrong. She lowered her gaze, but he stopped before her and spoke in flawless Dutch, asking how she came to know the language. Her eyes widened. She had not expected such fluency from a guest, much less a man of such wealth. She answered, simply explaining that her family heritage gave her the tongue she kept, her voice low, unsure if she was even allowed to have such a conversation. During her shift, the millionaire studied her carefully. He had met many people in the world, yet few carried the same quiet strength as this maid. She spoke with respect, but also with honesty. He asked her name, and she gave it softly. Amara. She expected him to end the talk, yet instead he smiled and said he wished to see her again, not as a maid, but as herself. The words startled her. She did not know if he was serious or simply polite. The line between guests and staff was strict, and she knew the hotel rules were harsh. Still, something in his voice carried sincerity. He told her he would wait for her after her shift at the garden terrace and walked away, leaving her heart racing with confusion. The rest of Amara's shift passed like a dream. She polished mirrors, changed linens, and folded towels, yet her mind was far from her work. Each time she looked at the clock, her heart thumped faster. She wondered if she should go to the garden terrace or pretend she never heard his words. After all, he was a millionaire and she was just a maid. What place could there be for her in his world? When her shift finally ended, she walked out to the terrace. The evening sun painted the sky with shades of orange and pink. The garden was filled with the scent of roses and the gentle splash of water from a marble fountain. She almost turned back, but then she saw him. Victor was waiting, seated at a table with 2 cups of tea. His eyes lit up when he saw her approach. She stood awkwardly, unsure if she should sit, but he gestured warmly. He began speaking in Dutch again, his voice smooth like a melody. She listened carefully. Her nervousness faded as she realized he was not mocking her or testing her. He was simply curious about her story. He wanted to know about her family, about her journey, about how she came to work in this hotel. She spoke with honesty, telling him about her brother, about her struggles, about her dream to study one day instead of cleaning rooms. Victor listened intently. His eyes did not wander. His posture did not show arrogance. He seemed to treat her as an equal. That feeling surprised her more than anything. She had always been invisible to the wealthy, Yet here was a man of power showing respect. After some time, he revealed why her Dutch had caught his attention. He explained that one of his largest projects was in the Netherlands, and he struggled to find people who understood not just the language but the culture. He had been seeking someone with natural skills, someone he could trust. He told her he believed she could be that person if she wished. Amara blinked in disbelief. A maid offered a chance to step beyond her world. The thought frightened her. It seemed impossible, yet his voice carried no false promise. He told her he would sponsor her training and education. If she agreed to work with his company, she would no longer be just a maid but a cultural bridge, a voice between worlds. Tears filled her eyes. She thought of her brother and the life they dreamed of. She thought of the nights she went to sleep exhausted, yet still praying for a chance to rise above her situation, and now here it was. She thanked him with trembling hands clasped together. She said she would accept, but only if she could remain true to herself. He nodded with a smile, saying that was exactly what made her valuable, her authenticity, her strength, her heart. As the evening deepened, they sat together talking not as maid and millionaire, but as to human beings sharing a vision of possibility. In that moment, Amara felt the walls of the hotel no longer contained her. She was